you can have amazing young musicians who have terrible experiences on stage when they are growing up, and that kind of changes the way they think completely.
Would you agree that it's a little bit of a burden to carry the lineage on your shoulders in that way? Because obviously, I mean, no matter what you do, those comparisons will probably come. As you said, you've been playing with him ever since you were a teenager.
Right.
Has that ever felt like a bit of a burden on the shoulders?
So I think I've been lucky to have started early, and I think like I've been on stage since I was 6 or 7, and honestly, I've had some very positive experiences on stage, and I think that has nothing to do with skill. So you can have amazing young musicians who have terrible experiences on stage when they are growing up, and that kind of changes the way they think completely. But for me, I mean, when I was 6 or 7-year-old, probably I was playing terribly. but I come off stage and I felt good about performing. I felt good being on stage and all of that. So that kind of really helped me when I'm playing later. And then all these comparisons, all of that came much later.
Also, do things like finding your own voice, considering, of course, there's standing on the shoulders of giants, which which you've talked about, but there's also the shadow that giants cast with their voice. In that, and you're literally squarely in the middle of that shadow. Is it difficult, or is it a consideration finding your own voice?
It was very important for me.
Right.
I think at that age, I think 16, 17, 18, at that point, it was very important for me to kind of find my own voice, as you say, and find my own tone.
Yeah.
Even something like a tone, both of us were playing the same violin, same brand, same everything. So initially, it was a big compliment for me when somebody would say that, oh, you sound so similar to your dad, or you sound just like him. That was a huge thing, and of course, I knew there was a skill level. I was probably at 10% of what he was doing, but it felt great that, like, okay, you sound like him. Then after a while, it was like, okay, now how do I sound different from him? While taking all the learnings and, of course, respecting everything that he brings, he's created his own individual style, his own tone, his own kind of body of work. Now, how do I try to bring out what I want to do? And I think in that way, some audiences initially would be supportive, some may not be. Some will be like, why are you trying to do something? This works already, why don't you?
Yeah.
And then I've gotten so many of these, growing up, so many of these comments from different people. You know, this person's son sounds exactly like him. This person's daughter sounds, so why do you want to do something that's different? But I think at that point, I was surrounded by people where it was okay to kind of find your own thing, even if it doesn't sound as good, or even if it kind of, it's an experiment that doesn't work, but it's something that you are doing to find your own journey.